Hello, welcome back. Okay, I'm still in County Cork. I'm in the city of Cork, not just in County Cork, I'm in the city of Cork. And I'm after spotting, if you watch the last vlog, you'll see something that I thought was a prison, I thought it was a jail. It turns out it's a building called the Elizabeth Fort. And I'm gonna wander up now and have a little look at it. So, I love wandering around cities that either I haven't been in, which Cork is not one of those cities. I have been here before, but it's somewhere I've never looked through the eyes of a vlogger before. That sounds strange, because prior to sort of doing what I do now, sometimes you just wander around cities and you don't really think, or you don't really see them, or you don't see a lot of things about them. It's only when you're doing this where you start to look differently. How pretty that is. And this is what I saw. And I've no clue. I'm assuming I can go into it. I don't know what to find or what to see. What I'm going to see. Elizabeth Fort, established in 1626. Like I say, you keep finding these little things. This is so cool. I'm going to let you read that if you can. Built from timber in 1601. So we built it in 1626. Okay, cool. Okay, so thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay, so first and foremost, if you're in Cork and you're looking for something to do, and you're looking for something to do that's free, why not? This is a free tour. You can pay for the tour. There is a small charge if you want the guided tour. In a sec, I'll let you know exactly what it is. I was just chatting to them before I came in. So if you want a guided tour, it's €5. Lasts about 45 minutes to an hour. You can do an audio tour for $3 and souvenirs for $1. Other than that, it's free. And if you're in the city and you want to pass an hour, I love these sort of places because you get a feel for a country, you get a feel for a place when you see it. And I love looking at old architecture. There's something very special to me about walking somewhere where, I don't know, 100 years ago or 500 years ago, something happened, whether somebody was killed or died or history was made in that area. And to me, I just love these places. Not everybody does, but I don't get those steps are unreal. Classic sort of medieval steps, some bigger than others. And the view from up here is just fantastic. Okay, let's have a little peep. Let's have a little look. Isn't that just beautiful? Like I say, Cork City seriously is impressing me and surprises me every single turn. So like I said, this is a free tour. You can just wander around. You can't pay somebody to show you around if you wish. And maybe if you want to spend a little bit more time and you want to know more about the history of it, that's exactly what you do. But if not, it's nice just to wander around. There is an exhibition she was telling me over there. I would love to know more about the history of this. So maybe the next time I come, I will actually do the guided tour. Cork City is quite a big city. sorry, a lot of steps, and I'm trying not to break my neck, as amusing as it might be. Beautiful cathedral. I suppose one thing I will advise you to do when you're visiting Ireland, when you're visiting this, the reason why Ireland's so green, those dirty great big rain clouds up there, that's why we get a lot of rain. Okay, so although at the moment I'm wandering around in a t-shirt and it's about 16 degrees, it's actually quite warm at the moment, but trust me, that could change in a heartbeat and it could lash out of the heavens. I just want to have my rain jacket wrapped around my waist at the moment. So if you're traveling and planning to travel to Ireland, please, please, please bring wet gear. Buy some small light stuff that you can stick in your pocket, because it will, trust me, it will be well worth it. Because nothing destroys a trip to Ireland more than having to stop what you do because of the weather. And that's something you can't do. You cannot visit Ireland and plan a trip and have the weather have any influence on what you do. So, like I say, see, Cork Airport's not far from here. So you can't fly directly into Cork, avoid Dublin altogether. Geez, I'm hating on Dublin at the moment. Well, I'm not. But for a Dubliner to tell you to come to Cork, it says a lot about Dublin, I'm afraid. Okay. It's like macabre, but I do love these things. They show, I suppose, well, actually, I was going to say it shows how times have changed, but it actually doesn't, because, to be honest with you, man still abuses other men. We still put heads on pikes. Horrible to say, but we do. We'll call it the civilized world, but civilized world, I suppose, allows it to happen. Anyway, enough of that. But this is definitely worth looking at. And there's a lot of things in Ireland, in fairness, like this, that are actually free. All our art galleries are free. So if you're visiting Ireland for the first time, remember, our art galleries, a lot of our museums, the majority of our museums are all free. I love all the little side streets off here. I could wander around old buildings like this all day. As like I said, there's something about them. There's something, I suppose, again, I use this word. In fact, I'm going to get t-shirts made up. Vibes are good here, or not, as the case may be. And it's exactly that. It's the sort of the vibe that a building gives off. It's part of its history. To me, it is its history. History isn't necessarily about facts and figures. I've walked into buildings all over the world. I remember in Ireland, there was one particular place I was in. My daughter, at the time, she has dyslexia, she still has dyslexia, but she was, we were learning how she learned at the time. And she went to the school for lessons for dyslexia. And there was a horrible feeling off the building. No matter where I went, at the time I didn't realise where it was. Well, I knew where it was, but didn't know the connection to how I felt when I went into it. And long story short, turned out to be a Borstal, an old Magdalen laundry type thing. And that's what I was getting. It was that feeling from the building you were getting. It was that horrible vibe from the tragedies that had happened in it. And it was exactly that. It's a lot of buildings that, to me, hold that feeling. They possess a very tangible, I suppose, emotional feel that you can feel when you walk into these places. Fascinating. Now, I'm not sure whether I can film in here, so I'm going to stop here. I'm going to have a little look inside first. If I can, I will. Okay, kind of sorry I went in there now. But that's kind of what I was saying about buildings having a feeling. When I went in, it was horrible. I'm looking outside. It used to be a police station of some description, because if you looked just above the door frame, that's would have been a badge either for the RUC or the Garda Síochána. That particular was a holding bay for people who were being transported to Australia for some of the most misdemeanor crimes known to man, stealing, and it was for women, all women. It was a women's holding area. That's why Walls, Women and Water is what it's called. You saw a little clip of one of the prison cells I showed you. Sorry, I'll show you now. It's in there now. So when you look into that and you realize, okay, now looking back into it now, you're thinking, yeah, it is what it is. It's a small little prison cell. But when you realize people were held there for as little as stealing a loaf of bread or a hat or something they could sell on to buy food for their family that were starving, it puts a whole new slant on it and puts a whole different feeling to it, a whole different vibe to it. And yeah, it's actually quite sad. Quite sad. But I suppose Irish history is sad. There's no question about that. You know, no matter how you look at it and how you cut it, Irish history has its roots in great sadness. There's no question about it. I suppose that's why we look back, when you look at Irish people or you listen to Irish people, and we have a different outlook on life than some. And it's true, we do. We do tend to have try look on the brighter side of things. I know I personally do. It's my kind of very much my philosophy of life's too short. And I suppose when you're touring around and you're looking at places and you come on somewhere like this, and it makes you think. And sometimes that's all these things do, is places, buildings that have history attached to them, and particularly the history that's attached to that building, it makes you think of how lucky we are now and how far we've come. And then you look at situations, say in Palestine, you're thinking, have we really come that far? It's just we've moved the problem somewhere else. Anyway, that's as political as I'm going to get on this channel. It's not going to get any further than that. So I'm actually going to finish this here because it's definitely worth visiting. The Elizabeth Fort, definitely worth visiting. If you're in Cork, pop up, have a little look around. It's a free pass, 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe more. If you take the guided tour, you'll spend an hour here wandering around and learn a little bit more about the history than I've been able to teach you. So, really hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like, subscribe, bell for notification, and I'll talk to you all soon. Slán. Okay, I'm going to have to edit this bit back in again because I nearly forgot. There's actually a bomb shelter here. It's a Second World War bomb shelter, which they have restored. It's not something you expect to see. Okay, that would have been the toilet, I will assume. So cool. Okay. So, if you want to know what a Second World War bomb shelter in Cork looked like, that's it. Okay, so again, I'm going to say goodbye. Hit the like, subscribe, bell for notification, and I'll talk to you all soon. Slán.